Hi everyone, today in this video I'll explain how you can accept only specific values from the dropdown in the Laravel application. So for example, this one is a status dropdown where you want to accept only active and inactive status. You wouldn't want to accept any other of status. So here I have created this simple form where I'm validating its required. It should be integer in this case, and then maximum we can pass this numeric and add the value, but this is not our case. So here I'm validating this and then saving this item in the database, right? Okay, for example, if I choose this active and submit this, so this will be saved in the database. So let's get refresh, and yes, one is saved. Now I don't want to allow the user to choose any of the other status. For example, if someone want to hack your application or want to manipulate some of your application content using inspect element, for example, they can add an option of here in inactive, they want to add the 5 and then choose the inactive and submit this, and then now this 5 will be stored in your database, right? It's stored here. So how you can basically restrict your user to not enter the status which are not offered by your Laravel application, right? Okay, so how you can do this? So it's pretty simple. So simply go here in the validation rule and define the validation rule in, right? And then type this column sign, and here you can add your values. Like in this case I have a drop down where I'm passing this 1 or 0 value, right? So you can accept this 0 and 1, right? Save this one, and here I'm going to now if I choose this inactive, so this will be saved, right? It's saved and 0 is saved. Now let's go back, and I want to now manipulate this here. Let's get refresh and choose this inactive. Here I'm going to now change this to the 5, right? And just submit this, and yes, selected status is invalid, right? So Laravel is throwing this exception by default. So if it's meaningless, you can override this to according to your custom solution. How you can customize this message? So it's pretty simple. So if you are using the form request, so you can add this into your messages function. Otherwise you can define it here in the second parameter as an array. So here define your status, and don't apply this directly on the status. Why? Let me show you here. You can choose only define, or you can choose only defined status, right? Something like this. So if you will just add this status here, if I choose here inactive, and I'm going to open this out, inspect element, let me give it a refresh. I'm going to submit this out. So now it's showing that you can choose only defined status, which is wrong, right? Because we want to display here the error, the status is required. So why it's overriding this? Because we are overriding this overall validation. So if you want to override only specific in validation rules, so just type this dot and then type in. Save this one and then submit this, and yes, it's now returning the status field is required. But if I want to choose this inactive or active, and here I want to say that 3, which is not allowed, and submit this out, and it's throwing you can choose only defined status. So in this way you can validate your user and then accept the how you can customize this message, right? Even if you want to allow here string like active, and this should be inactive, so how you can define this string too? So simply go here and in the controller just make this string first, because this one is another validation. This is not about this specific example, and here you can type in the same case you can define the active, and then your second. Don't add the space, otherwise it wouldn't work, I think. So now submit this out, status is required. But if I want to active, and here I'm going to manipulate this with something like this and submit this out. So it says you can choose only defined status, but if I choose this active, so it's allowing me to save this into the database. So in this way you can validate your strings and string or integer values from the dropdown and restrict the user to not save the data in your application which is not allowed. So hope you this video had some value into your life, and you can share your feedback in the comment box, and if you want to uh, get more videos like this, subscribe the channel and share it with your friends. I'll meet you in the next one. Bye bye.